All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday watch list. This week is like jam-packed with economic data, earnings. The charts look amazing as far as from a technical perspective, but the fundamentals may be a little bit stronger. I mean, usually I'm a technical trader, but sometimes if there's like big economic events, they can throw the technicals out of the picture, such as, for example, this week we have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, which completely throws technicals out of the picture, as well as some of these big companies reporting earnings. So let's start off with the earnings, get into economic reports, and then we'll get right into the charts. So on Monday, we have McDonald's reporting earnings right before the market opens. That's gonna be one of the big names. We have Phillips, and really Tuesday is gonna be the day that I mainly pay attention to. We have PayPal before market open, Procter and Gamble, Pfizer. Those are some of the big names. We have JetBlue as well. After close is the big names. We have AMD, huge, right? This can move. This can move the market. Microsoft can absolutely move the markets. Starbucks, right? Another big name there. Those are the top three that I'm going to be watching for this week on or for Tuesday. Then we have Wednesday before market opens, Boeing. Never trade Boeing, to be honest. We have Meta. That's going to be the big one to pay attention to on Wednesday. And Qualcomm on Wednesday. We also have Riot on Wednesday. So those are some of the big ones. We have Carvana. And then Thursday, we have Moderna. Moderna on the charts right now has an amazing setup that I would like to trade if it wasn't for earnings that could potentially mess it up. We have Crocs, Toyota, Wayfair. But the big ones on Thursdays after the market closes, we have Amazon, we have Apple, Coinbase, Square, and Snapchat. Amazon and Apple potentially to move the markets. Friday, we have ExxonMobil and Chevron. Those are going to be some of the big names to really pay attention to this upcoming week. And right, don't get FOMO. There's usually post-earnings setup. So after the company reports earnings, then typically the chart presents an opportunity. That's going to be what I'll be watching for earnings. As far as economic data this week, we have Tuesday, nothing much. Monday, which is good. Tuesday, we have consumer confidence, which is going to be at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern, usually some type of reaction there. Wednesday's the big day where we have the FOMC meeting. Jerome Powell will be speaking. And then Thursday, initial jobs came. So really, Wednesday's a big day. And then factory orders and U.S. unemployment report. U.S. employment report on Friday before market open. So Wednesday is going to be the big day this week, FOMC meeting, right? Going right into the charts now. You see all of those like economic events and the earnings can have potential to like completely change what the charts look like right now. As far as from a technical analysis perspective, let's start off with SPY. On the weekly chart, I have this huge trend line that we have been respecting here to here. We are on an uptrend. This is the third touch that we are getting as of right now, exactly at this point here. Now, if we go down to a 4-hour time frame, the trend that we are currently in is a downtrend, the shorter term trend from here to here, right? Because this uptrend from here to here has officially broken. We broke this uptrend and now we are on a downtrend. Now, what are we doing? We are forming highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. A very key level, some very key level points that I will be watching this week is going to be this demand zone down here, which currently is not being very well respected, as we have not gotten a hold above or a hold below, just back and forth above it as of right now here. But if we do hold above this, we should push up to this trend line, right? Which is currently what is keeping us in this downtrend if we form another lower high from here, and the next touch would be like around this area, which kind of correlates with this area here from this 551 to 550 area. I really like this 548. So 551, let's go with this 548 area. One of these two levels are going to be very well respected. For me to be confident in upside, I need to see a reclaim above these levels. So if we break above these levels and then retest the trend line, that's going to be amazing confluence to go along back into this area, which is the previous demand from here. which also turned to supply here, look. So that's going to be an amazing move as well. Either way we go this week, we have an amazing opportunity. So if we hold this demand zone from down here, we have room up into here. That is going to be an amazing reversal if that plays out up to 555. So something I'm definitely very, very interested. If we break above 548 and 551, room up to 555. Trying to keep it very simple, right? If we do get very weak and show weakness below this trend line down here, which is this 536 area, below this level down here, we should start having room down into 531 and then back down to 525, 524 area. Those are my levels to the downside if we do get weak, right? But since we're on the weekly chart and we do hold this trend line 1, 2, third touch, I am, no bias because of all the things coming up this week, but those are the main levels that I'm creating game plans off of for this week. Let's go into QQQ. Make sure to drop any questions if you guys have any in the description. Now, QQQ, I like this chart a little bit more. Let's go over everything on Qs real quick as well. Let's clear out everything up. Let's go to the weekly top-down analysis, and let's connect any trend lines that we may have from here to here. This is also about to be the third touch of this trend line on QQQ. I could see a big level of supply from here. Look how we reject here, and then we bounce over here. So kind of like that whole area right there. Now going into a 4-hour time frame, I can see that this is a respected trend line. One, let's fix it on this side. Two, so we're approaching the third touch of that trend line. This is a big level of supply back here, that 449 to 447 area, right? That's going to be a key level. As of right now, QQQ is currently on this downtrend from here to here, as you guys can see. Right, we have lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and lower lows. A very key level that I could see here on QQ was this recent demand zone here. This is going to be like my main level to watch on QQ because of the confluences that are stacked here. There's so much confluences stacked here. Starting off with it being the head and shoulders neckline. As you guys can see, we have a left shoulder, we have a head, we have a right shoulder. We broke below it. That's the neckline. I would like for a retest of that level for a potential rejection because it's in confluence with the neckline of the head and shoulders. It has the trend line, but not only that, if I grab a fib retracement starting from the high to the recent low, the 382 Fibonacci retracement is exactly in confluence with that area. So a very high probability area for a potential rejection. And if it does reject, we have room back down to the recent lows. Since we're on a downtrend, that would also be, right, lower high, lower high, lower high. That would be a lower high here for continued lower lows, and see if we break down and form that lower low to get down to this area. Very well respected level. Very interested on that on QQ. Now, if things do get strong, we completely take over. That is also a very high confluence level if we break above and retest for potential back into 485 to 488, 490 area. So very interesting level. That is going to be my main level to watch on QQQ. We also have a level here. It looks like from there to there. That 460 level is important. It's going to be like that mid-level in between both of these ranges. So definitely keeping an eye on that. As far as main individual setups, so I'm watching Spine QQ as always. As far as individual setups, a lot of the names that I usually watch, are reporting earnings this week. So starting with Apple, Apple is on a downtrend. We have a high here. We have a lower high. We have a lower high. And here we are approaching that trend line again. I want to see if we stay below this trend line. We should have room down into 210, 206 if it does reject and push lower. But like I said, it reports earnings on Thursday. If I'm not mistaken. Thursday, August 1st, it reports earnings along with Amazon. So just have to be aware of that, right? Amazon reports earnings Thursday. I'm not interested in Amazon unless it's at this 188 level. or this 170 level, to be honest. Yeah, I want to wait for those big key level points. And those are my two big key level points because it has rejections back here at 188 and big aggressive bounces at 170. So I'll be waiting for one of those levels on Amazon, even if it takes a little bit of time. But those are the main levels to watch. Microsoft's one of those setups that I really do like. Is just that it has earnings on Tuesday. So what is that? What is Microsoft doing? It is also forming a downtrend from a high, lower low, lower highs, lower lows. The next lower high point is in confluence with this trend line and a supply zone. This is a supply zone from back here that rejects. It rejects. So I'd like to see if this area right here can reject for a push back down to these lows, right? Potentially even these lows right here. There's a big area of demand that we usually push down to. So if Microsoft shows any type of weakness around that area, then I'll be very interested in taking rejections back down. But like I said, it has earnings Tuesday. It's the only thing we can mess it up. I don't know if we have any confluence with fibs here. Not really, but that is gonna be one of my main watches, Microsoft, around this area. Going into NVDA, similar charts, but on a downtrend. High, lower, low. We are at a key level of demand, which is the 108. Anything below the 108, if things get very weak, we have room down to 100. Reversals back to the upside. Keep an eye above 118. Eye above 118, break and retest of this trend line should push us back up into 124. So far we have SPY, we have QQ. I like Microsoft. And one of the other individual ticker names that I was watching was Moderna, actually. And the reason why is because we were in such a key level of demand. So I'm on the weekly chart here on Moderna. Notice how every time we come into this demand zone, we bounce up, we bounce up, we bounce up here. When we're below it, we reject down, we reject down. And here we are back above it, another bounce up. And here we are retesting, holding above it. So if we're above and holding above, I should expect the bounce up, right? From such a key level of demand. On the weekly, we also have a bullish hammer. On the daily, we're starting to hold that area of demand at 115. So it looks amazing if it wasn't for earnings on, is it Thursday? If it wasn't for earnings on Thursday, I'd be very confident going long on this because the risk rewards very well. It literally stops below this level, right? Potential room back up into these 140s, 135 areas. So something I'll still keep on watch, but just, keep in mind that earnings can mess that name up. Last but not least, SMCI. This was an amazing setup from the last Sunday watch this. I told you guys I was very confident in this play. I showed you guys the chart on the monthly. It had 3 bearish shooting stars and it played out to a T, literally went straight down to 700. Here we are trying to hold this level here at 673. Very key level. We also have the daily 200 SMA around this area. If I were to pop it up, right, daily 200 SMA. So it's a key level of support right now. Anything below that, I could see SMCI dropping a lot more, maybe into like 606 even. Yeah, it has a lot of room down. So from this point down here, something I'll potentially keep an eye on. If it retests this level we broke out of last week, which was the 750, 760 area, keep an eye on this thing for a potential reject there around here. So we broke below the level. Now we're looking to see if we retest and continue lower on this name. Definitely something worth watching. If I go from the high to the low point, we do not have confluence in that area just yet. But that is what I'll be watching on SMCI. Potential continuation, reject that 750 or below 664. Gonna keep it fairly short. This watches can change multiple times throughout this week because of everything coming up. Typically before earnings week, it's best to be risk off and let the market settle down. Any news it may have to take in, any of the earnings plays, right? All of these are big names that have potential to move the market. It's best to play it light. And then next week, once the market settles down more, then you can have clearer direction, right? Yes, some of the charts look bearish. Sometimes some of them look bullish, but a lot of things can change this week and you have to play it day by day and have a lot of patience for a setup you're very confident in. Other than that, there's going to be the watches today. Make sure you're following my Instagram, join the free broadcast channel for updates on these watch lists. And I think we're like 3 subscribers away from 300. I appreciate everyone who does watch these videos. Thank you guys. I hope you guys get a lot of value for them, and try to keep it short and simple. Hope you guys have an amazing trading week. Peace.